Hey, what's up, chicken pickers? Vinny, powertwang.com. All right, so for today's lesson, we're going to cover this is the song Flat on the Floor by Carrie Underwood. This little intro part was actually originally done, it's either like on a banjo or a dobro or something, but I've kind of figured out a simulated part for the guitar. Because this is my own interpretation of whatever that instrument is playing, I will go ahead and tab this out just so it would make it a little easier for you to follow along. And you can get the tabs for that at the website listed below here in the description box. All sorts of freebies over there for you. But anyway, this song, at least the intro, is primarily focused around the A and D chords. Okay, now we'll point out that I pretty much, this is like a banjo type roll, and I'm pretty much using just my pick and my middle finger on this one. And I'm pretty sure for the most part my pick will take care of anything on the A, D, or G string, and my middle finger will pluck anything, those open E notes. Okay, so this first measure here is this little pattern here. That's the first pattern. And anyway, it starts out downstroke the open A string, and then pluck with the middle finger the open E string there. Then you're going to do this little part here where it's second fret on the G string, hammer on from the open D to the second fret, and then another open high E string. So those parts together are, one more time. That's open G, second fret, open, second fret of the D string, open, and then this little quarter step bend at the third fret on the A string. Yeah, so that the second half of that is just that there. So if we put all those together, you've got. And I try to maintain this A chord here, the shape with my left hand. That way you can, if possible, you kind of let whatever note you can hold down with your finger and let that ring out and ring into the other notes, the better. If you just fretted each note and you pulled each finger off, the whole thing would sound very staccato and choppy, whereas you kind of try to let some of the notes ring together. Okay? All right, so for the second measure, it's basically exact same thing. Same thing for the third measure. Yeah, so the first three measures are exactly the same. And then we change it up slightly on the fourth measure. So on the fourth measure, we do this. That part, that first half of that fourth measure is the exact same as the other part, and then it just kind of changes up on the end. That's the second half of the fourth measure. So that's open D, third fret of the A string, another open D, second fret of the D string, and then you're just doing this little quarter step bend at the second fret, it's a bend and release, and then an open A. So if you put those first four measures together, this is what you got. Okay, and then for the second four measures, it's part of it, it stays very similar. There's just a couple slight modifications. And this, in this second four measures, this is kind of where the band really kicks in, or the rest of the band. But pretty much like, so the first four measures stays within the A chord, and you're just playing those chords around the A. Now, but the second four transitions between the first measures based around the A, the second measure is more based on the D, the third measure is based around the A, and the last measure is based around the D. So if we look at it, the first measure, the second time through, is basically the same as the first time, as the first ones. And then where it changes up is because it's going to the D chord, instead of hitting that open A, all you're doing is you're lifting up your middle finger here and hitting that open D. So I mean, the pattern stays the same with the exception of that first note, which is the D instead of the A. Then for the third measure, the second time through, it goes back to the first pattern. Then for the last measure, then what we do is we go back to this the D chord, or the D, it's based around the D chord, so it starts on the open D note again. That's the first half, and then the second half is just, and that's just D, open D, third fret, A, A. So if we put the second four measures together, we've got that's pretty much it. And then that's actually the point where the verse starts and Carrie starts singing the first verse. The patterns for that part stay very, very close to what you did the second time through, as far as where it goes back and forth between the A and the D notes, or the A and the D chords. But basically, so if we take technically all 8 measures, and we put those together, you've got and I will say that just this, working on this little pattern is really good right, left-hand coordination type stuff. And I will say it's not like your typical banjo roll like in country where it's just like either, but it definitely has that rolling kind of pattern, and you're really only working the pick and the middle finger, but it's still just like a good pattern to kind of work that right hand and get used to adding in the hybrid picking. But anyway, again, I'm going to tab this out. It's probably a lot easier to follow along with the tabs. I actually think what I'll do too is, like I said, the tabs are very similar during, or the picking pattern is very similar during the verse, but I might even actually include the verse section in there, but I won't cover it here because it's pretty similar. But anyway, like I said, you can get that from my website below, listed here in the description box. There's all sorts of other free videos that you will not find here on YouTube, so go there, sign up, and check it out. Thanks again for tuning in, and we shall see you soon.